Well, hello, everybody. Joelle, thank you so much. It's so lovely. That's the first time we're doing that. And I just really love people to get to know our team and know Joelle. And thank you for that introduction. All right, wonderful. So we're going to get started. So I'm excited to give this talk today, this presentation, this workshop, and then we're going to do probably about 50 minutes of presentation. Then we're going to workshop. We sent out the PDF for the 1,000 True Fans, the Artist Success 1,000 True Fans blueprint that I've put together. And we're going to do a little bit of workshopping. So I want you guys to be able to have that PDF up. And we're going to share it in the chat. We also sent it out by email, but we were tweaking down until the last minute. So if you want the last minute version, Joelle, you can even go ahead and put that in the comments now, just so people have it and can prepare ahead of time. And then we'll post it again. As we're moving through today, any questions that you have, please put in the comments. Joelle is here and she'll be collecting questions as we move through, so you don't have to wait. Like if you have a quick question as we're moving through something, put it in the comments, and when we open things up, we'll have all the questions collected. So today we're really talking about, and the 7 Ps really grew out of an Instagram post that became very popular and a lot of people liked. So I'm going to lead with that because I think they're very much touch points, each of the 7 Ps, and then touch points throughout your career to really circle back to. And I've identified an artist for each P, their artist journey and the things that they had to really push through. And then we're going to move into the Artist Success 1,000 True Fans blueprint and what that's really about. And I've broken it down into actual numbers for you and what it means. So we're going to talk about that. But today is really about moving you forward to break the cycle of sabotage that a lot of artists don't realize sometimes they're doing, or we may realize we're doing, right? When we're waiting, there's this sense of waiting. I'm going to wait until I have a big enough audience, or I'm going to wait until, I'm ready, or I'm going to, there's this sense of, or wait till someone discovers me, or I need those big numbers on social media, those kinds of things. We're going to blow through that and give some real strategy and some real clarity to the path, and how what you're looking for is actually closer than you think. And how do I know? Because I'm watching artists I'm working with, and I want to share these key strategies to really help you. And this blueprint's really going to clarify so much today. So I'm so excited to get going. Any questions at the end? We'll have questions at the end. And I'm also giving an offer today. It's our Artist Sanctuary membership. We have a monthly membership where we work on artist development and career development. And we have a quarterly promotion. So this is our quarterly promotion where you save $10 per month. It's like usually $59 a month. It's going to be $49 a month if you come in. And then if you come in on the annual subscription, it even gets lower to $41 per month. But it's a very robust membership where we do this kind of work. So I'm going to give you that offer at the end. And then questions that we don't get to at the end, Joelle's going to stay on a little bit and answer questions about the sanctuary. But questions that you have here that if I don't get to them, if we have too many questions, we will send those responses or those answers via email. I'm pretty sure we can get to them though, but let's see how it goes. The most important thing is to realize that no matter where you are as an artist, there's an audience for you. And no matter where you are in your career, in your age, or in your experience in your career, there's an audience for you. People connect with musicians, people connect with great music and with musicians on their journey. So I really want to show you that it's really time to get moving and building this community, because it's closer than you think. And what would it feel like to have that audience of devoted fans if you're doing shows, coming to your shows, if you're doing live streams, coming to your live streams, if you're sharing your music, shouting out about your music. We really want to get in motion now, regardless of where you are in the cycle of writing, recording, releasing, and promoting, right? Because I'm going to show you today how important it is, even when you don't have new music coming out, how you can stay current and promote in a way that's not salesy, but that is inviting people along on the journey. The truth is, there's never been a more exciting time to be a musician. The world is really at our fingertips, and success is so close, especially the kind of success we're going to talk about today, which isn't about big fame, because this is intangible, but actually creating a successful and sustainable career is achievable. But at the same time, that with social media, people feel so close, or success feels like, I could really get this going, it can also feel frustratingly far away. Is anybody feeling that? Like, how do I get this in motion? How do I get things going? So we're going to roll through the 7 P's of how to build a successful and sustainable career in music. Just tell me before we start out, where are you struggling the most? What are the areas that you struggle with as an artist? Is it marketing? Is it growing the fan base, growing your audience? Is it building your list? Is it getting people to listen to your music? Is it music industry connections? Is it the right guidance for you in your career? Do you struggle with songwriting, making a profit? Yes, gig pay, guidance, finding a way for people to hear your music, confidence. Yes, Dory, that's good. Hey, Richard. Hey, Dory. Hey, Danny. Figuring out my ideal audience and really zeroing in on what my sound is. Yes. Esther, marketing without feeling salesy. Amen. We're going to talk about that today. Hi, Richard. So good to see you. Recording my music and balancing my career with my other creative pursuits, says Lori. Linnea, currently, biggest issue is pouring tons of time and big investments, but not getting money back, right? You need to get paid. Exactly. I hope that we can turn that around for you today, Linnea. And Leighton, my friend, amazing manager on the feed today. Numbers, getting people to come to my artist shows and people ignoring him. Yes, Jan Close and Joe Denizen and all the wonderful artists that you manage. Turtle says, finding my niche audience. Yes. So there's so many elements, right? That gives me a sense of who I'm talking to today. Where are you guys? Do you have music out? Are you just releasing? Do you have a couple singles out? Do you have an EP out? If so, how many? 5 albums. Yes, Heather, your music is amazing. Have you taken a hiatus and just coming back? 67 monthly Spotify. Chuck, that's amazing. Put links to your music in the chat, please, so that we can go back and listen. I like to go and listen to new artists, especially artists that are on my workshops and in my community. 4 singles, working on a debut. Yes, hi, Kate. 3 singles and debut album this September. Fantastic. Wonderful. Yes. So put your links to your music in the chat, please. Lori, 2 album projects got sidelined, starting over. Yep. Many years of songwriting. Yes, it takes many years, doesn't it? It really does. What is your proudest accomplishment in your career so far? What is your proudest accomplishment in your career so far? It could be on a creative level, songwriting, it could be, vocal, it could be any awards that you might have won, any stages that you've played that, were particularly meaningful to you. Doesn't have to be a big name. One of my meaningful performances was down in the pyramids of Teotihuacan. Doing the signature songwriting circle, digging deep. Yes, good. I can't wait to go back and listen to these. Shoebox full of demos on cassette tapes. I love it. Winning a songwriting award and actually releasing music. That's amazing, Danny. Isn't that incredible? Yes, album on Spotify, found a new sound, have 8 new songs in recording. Anika, that's amazing. Would love to hear them. You can always share private SoundClouds with me privately if you want. Esther, I'm proud of finding a way to get back into things after putting things on hiatus after my son was born. Yes, kudos to you. Really shout out to the moms coming back to their music and to themselves. Yes, beautiful. Okay. What do you hope to get answered today about your career? What's the number one thing that you want to get answered about your career? Post that in the chat. What is the number one thing that you want to get answered today in this workshop about your career? Make more money. I like the alliteration, Chuck. MMM. How to structure a business. Oh, wait, it's going fast. Hang on. How to structure a business to accurately reflect band members' stakes and their time put in. Oh, that we're probably not going to cover, but actually, let's collect that as a question, Joelle, because I can talk about that. It's not in the subject for today, but I can talk about that for sure. Been in a million bands. Kate, how I can monetize my music. Heather, mainly just curious to know what's current. I've been out of it for a while. Best way to spend my time. Good. I'm here to learn, homeschooling my son, mainly to hear how it's being done, what's current. Yes. Okay, wonderful. That really helps. Continue to put things in there, connecting them with their people. Number one goal, connection, right? Connecting. Sync opportunities. We're not going to talk about sync today, but I can certainly talk about that if it's in a question, Troy. So pose a question when we get there. Okay, beautiful. So grab a pen and paper, and I want to, Lisa, find my target audience, make money with live gigs. Written 20 songs, done nothing with them, want to monetize, release, monetize, yeah. Ways, very streamlined ways of doing this since I work in other genres. Okay, beautiful, Lori. So grab a pen and paper and I like to make lists. If you're not a list person, then just ignore this. But I would say as I'm rolling through the content today, keep a current list. This is like, oh, this I want to do right away. A future list, I can't get to it right now, but that's going to be good in the future. And then questions, okay? Truth bomb, no matter where you are in your career, you can build a successful and sustainable career right now, right? So that's that whole thing of not waiting, getting in motion. So I'm doing this in 2 parts. The first part is the 7 Ps to building a successful and sustainable career. And part 2 is the Art of Success, 1,000 True Fans Blueprint, which I'm going to share with you. Jen says ways to collaborate with other creatives organically. Collaboration is good. Yep. Okay, here we go. So music business is constantly changing and evolving. We all know it's a moving target, and it's just like any industry, it's important to stay fluid, and so you can change and evolve with it. So you're not staying stuck in outdated methods that aren't, appropriate for you and the time we're in. Many musicians are still following an old path, one that says that we need these giant social media numbers to be successful. And, we hear about labels, looking for metrics. Well, most of the artists I work with are not, I would say maybe 15% of the artists that I work with are interested in labels. Most of the artists that I'm working with are independents. They're not interested in label. I do both, but I find that percentage has really whittled down in the last 5 years considerably. Because artists realize that they can make their own brands, they can create their own brands, and they want creative control, right? But still this mentality of, the labels saying, oh, you need a lot of metrics before we look at you. Yeah, I just talked to an entertainment attorney last week who said that when I presented an artist to him. But we all know that that's not true. And in fact, a certain artist that I've worked with, like Diane Birch, didn't even have a social media following when she got signed. So that's not, that's just the big labels talking at you. And most of the people here, I don't think, are interested in that. But even if so, when they hear something out of this world, incredible, the reason they will be interested. But yeah, it's more, can I make money from that? Have they already done the work and they have that following? But that doesn't apply to the independent. That doesn't apply to most people here. And I'll explain why as we move through this. being an artist is a bit like a gambler, yes, but once you know the tools, it removes that gambler equation. And that's what I'm hoping to do today, is to put it more into brass tacks. And the techniques I'm going to show you today are really at the heart of your success and moving forward right away. Without these in place, it'll be hard to grow to where you want to be. So let's get you in motion. The thing I want to point out is if you are waiting until your next album comes out to build, that is actually too late. We need to build before the album comes out. And we'll talk a little bit about that today, although most of today is not so much about that. But well, yeah, it is actually. It is. Every artist has their own unique path. The path of success looks different for every artist. What works for one doesn't work for another. That's why it's very important to learn the business while you're here today. It's important to work with smart people who know the business, who can guide you, who can help you grow in the right ways, help you make the right decisions, and find the right people to work with at the right points in your career. You know, I was working with an artist yesterday who I'm advising, and she had gotten some consulting and was working with someone in management, and they were directing her towards this festival, or they were submitting, not directing her, but submitting for a festival that she had no business playing. I mean, the festival was like a bunch of dudes, and she wouldn't fit in. And so she was saying, yeah, I didn't hear back. And I'm like, well, I can see why, because you're not a good fit for them. So knowing what you're a fit for and when is the right time, and do you have what you need to submit to that to be successful, so that you're spending your time and energy going in the right direction. Okay. It's critical to your success, actually, right? And without it, you can really spin your wheels for years or decades even, and in some cases, it prevents artists from reaching their destination at all, which we want to avoid. There is an art to building a successful and sustainable career. It's not as simple as putting your music out, promoting on socials, crossing your fingers and hoping that something will happen. It involves knowing the industry, creating a plan and roadmap that fits you and your specific goals. Every artist is different. Some people want to go into sync. Some people want to perform live. Some people don't. Some people want to be regional. Some people want to tour. Some people don't. There's a lot of options today. And, you know, many of the artists that I work with are not even really interested in the traditional music business. Some are. But like, you know, I have a lot of people that are interested in the more conscious community, or the you know, the yoga festival circuit, or, you know, things that are, you know, off of the beat, the straight and narrow path. So it's really important to understand where you're going, and, you know, building a plan that is specific to you. This is something that I do with artists a lot, because I can save them a lot of time. And building your following of true fans that we'll talk about today that support your music. With this, it's never been more doable than today, than right now. And one of the keys we'll talk about today is the importance of finding your audience and a path to drawing those people to you. One who becomes people who become true fans, and how to do that, and what the numbers are that you actually need to aim for. I have it broken down in a chart for you. I'm excited to share it with you. True fans are the people who actually believe in you. You know, your music has rescued them. Music rescues people from dark places. Amen. Has it rescued you? Has music rescued you from some of those dark places, right? It's an intimate kind of thing, and people feel close to you, and being close to you makes them feel connected to themselves. True fans are people that listen to your music, share your music, shout out about your music. They come to every show, to your live streams, buy all your stuff. They're the biggest supporters of your music, and they provide the sustenance that allows you to make your music and continue living the dream, right? So how do you build your list of true fans? That's $1 million question. Well, every path to success starts right here, right now, exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. So I know some of you, as you're hearing this, you're like, oh, I'm not good at that. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh, I don't have those fans. Oh, I'm too late. Like, I hear all the mind chatter, right? How do I know? Because my mind creates chatter like that, right? But that's just the mind trying to keep you safe or criticize you if you were heavily criticized in your life, or whatever the dynamic is going on there. I want you to shut that down today. I want you to shut that off. I want you to catch that mechanism and shut that off, because the point of power for everyone is in the present moment. All we have is the present moment, correct? It's all we have. The future hasn't happened yet. The past is past. All we have is the present moment. So your access point to success is in the present moment. So as you listen to this, it's important that you put your own self-judgment to the side, or refrain from beating yourself up that you didn't know this, you didn't know that sooner, because the more you can stay open to the information, less chatter, and open to change, the more you will open yourself to grow. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through a roadmap to get all the right things in place so you can build your career and step into success with more focus, precision, and confidence. And the goal to help you take that big leap from the unknown indie to a successful and sustainable career. You could still be an unknown indie and have a very successful and sustainable career, by the way, and literally step into living the dream. I've done it with thousands of artists, and I can do it with you too. So these are the key pieces. Let's dive in. Ari Herstand says this: there's no straight line in the music business anymore. It's about hard work and passion. And it's really true. And it's more than praying for it. It's actually putting the steps in motion. So let's dive in. The 7 Ps. So these 7 Ps came about because I was thinking about, and I'm just going to roll through that, and then we're going to get into part 2, into the blueprint. So I was thinking about the climb, and also the what's the word? It's escaping me right now. The strength that it takes, the stamina that it takes, the endurance that it takes to continually stay in the, I don't want to say game, because it's not a game to me, it's very serious, but to stay in the flow of your music and your life, accepting things as they have happened, all important to position you to be ready for the next step, okay, for the next thing. So these 7 Ps are really important on the climb and throughout your career, and each is an important piece of the puzzle, right? So it's important to know that every moment on the path is the pursuit, is the journey, right? We always say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But as we immerse ourselves in the journey, stop beating ourselves up, start to understand that we're in a passion play. We're in a stage, we're in a movie of passion. You guys have signed up for a life of passion as a musician, right? So no dream is sweeter attained than after a mighty pursuit. It's the hero's journey, really, right? Okay, so before I get into the 7 Ps, I just want to frame this. So the essentials of a successful and sustainable career in music, and you can screenshot this. This is a good one. I have Leonard Skinner here for a reason I'll tell you in a moment. So 1 is to become an exceptional artist, an undeniably good musician, singer, and songwriter. It's everything your career will stand on. Don't be afraid of having holes in some of these areas. Just go to work on them. Always work on them. Don't not work on them. Work on them. Coming to workshops is fantastic. Working your craft is the single most important thing that you do as an artist, always. And all of the big artists are always working their craft. They're always topping themselves. The next album, you know, the people that get lazy in that department don't do well, okay? 2, write an exceptional collection of or catalog of songs, an album that's written at a very high level of skill and that's in alignment with who you are as an artist and are vulnerable, honest, authentic to you. It's a really, really, really important part of your brand. This is what we do with artists when we're in the creative process, helping them write and brand. We brand right down into the album. If you listen to Megan Sky's new album, I'll Be the One, or you listen to Andre Henry's album, Make It to Tomorrow, you will see their brand in the messages in the song. And that's why they're doing so well, even in a short time of release. A&R direction, finding your sound and direction. Your sound needs to be developed and clearly defined. It's important that you know who you are, what you want, and how to get it. And that's what we had in our Artist Sanctuary membership last week. We had, or last month, we had, I bring on people from my Rolodex from being in the industry in New York for 30 years. I know a lot of people in the music industry and in high places. Anyway, I brought in Steve Scharf, who has his own music licensing company, who I work with, and I've gotten several artists licensed through him. But you know, I know exactly what he wants, and so I bring him. You know, it's always about knowing what that, you know, what professional or what company is really right for what artist. It's like fitting, it's like matchmaking, right? Well, he came on last month and talked about sync. He's the sync agent, a licensing agent, has his own company. And he was telling us the story of Leonard Skinner as it pertains to knowing who you are and what you want and how to get it. And he was talking about, he was very lucky when he was in high school, in his last year in high school, he got an opportunity to go down to Muscle Shoals. Does anybody know what Muscle Shoals is? Muscle Shoals was a recording studio. There's a documentary and you all should watch it if you haven't. It's a documentary about Muscle Shoals, and in the late 60s, was it, I think? And it was a recording studio in Muscle Shoals in Alabama. And he went down and the Rolling Stones had just been there. And the band that was, I think, there or shortly after was Leonard Skinner. And he was talking about Ronnie Van Zant, the lead singer. And he was just saying, you know, because they were recording their first album. They've been performing live for 14 years, which is just unbelievable. And they were recording their first album at Muscle Shoals. And you know, this is where Aretha found her sound, and this is really where so much music was born. And you know, he could tell he has really good A&R ears, and he could tell, oh, these guys are really something. They really have something. And then he had Freebird. He actually brought it to the record labels, and all the labels passed on it. Why? Because they stood out. This was a new sound. This was a sound that hadn't happened yet. Can you imagine that? He had, oh, look, Markland's here. Hi, my friend. Look, you know, he had Freebird in his hand shopping to labels, and all of them passed. Okay. So we hear these stories, right? But in particular, you know, the reason was because it was a new sound, and labels, you know, just they don't know enough to know what's really great or not. They go more by formula. But anyway, the point here is that Steve said the most incredible thing about Ronnie Van Zant was that he not only knew who he was and who they were as a band. They played for 14 years, but he knew what he wanted and how to get it. And he didn't doubt himself, right? So he had a lot of experience, and as a writer as well. So very important piece. You can't fake this piece, right? We see a lot of like virtual TikTok artists failing on stage because they don't have the ability, which is number 4, push the envelope on your skills as a musician, singer, and songwriter. Number 5 is build a magnetic, undeniable brand and funnel, which we'll talk about, that is mission-driven and authentic, and design career steps and strategies with people in the industry who are experienced that fit you, you know, that design strategies that fit you as an artist, right? It's really impossible to do on your own. It's important to get help. So here are the 5 P's. So the first is passion, and I chose Tina Turner because, God rest her soul, was sad to hear of her passing, but I know she was suffering and struggling. But what an incredible icon in the music industry. And she overcame being a victim, which was, you know, that's why I chose her for the first P of passion, because that never died in her. That passion never died. So if you are somewhere on the trajectory where your passion has died a little bit, it's really important just acknowledge that and just go, hey, I got to get my passion back. I got to get back to and the passion is always in the music. So it means I got to get back to the music. I really have to reconnect, right? You do music because you love it first, because without that, you wouldn't last, because it takes a while, right? And then just when you're ready to throw in the towel and give it up and walk away, that voice of passion finally wins out. Something starts happening. And when the money finally starts coming in, you realize that while money is good, and you really do need it because you need to support yourself, that it's really the experience of connecting with your audience and making music that is more important than anything. Would you say that? It really is the core. So passion to me is the core of everything, right? It's the core reason why you do it. And if it wasn't, you'd be an accountant or work at a bank, right? A career in music is driven by passion. So reconnect with your passion. These P's, you can just write them down, and I have in the summary them all outlined. So you can just screenshot at the end when we do the summary of the section. But when you feel like you've lost your umph, or you're facing a setback, or you're having a difficult moment, or you're in a difficult pattern, that you can't, are having trouble breaking, just reconnect with your passion. It is your fuel. Possibility. So I chose Lizzo here because of her message of body positivity. But when she first started approaching the industry, everyone passed on her. Nobody got her. She didn't have any support, right? But and she said this at her Grammy speech last February or whenever it was, that she said anybody who's at home who feels misunderstood or on the outside looking in like I did, stay true to yourself. And she said, I'm dedicating this award to Prince because he was really the person who inspired me to stay the course and believe in myself. And she said, I promise if you do that, you will attract people in your life who believe in you and support you. You can influence the industry without being influenced by it, making a truly unique and empowered music and career on your own terms. So possibility is really important. We really just separate those two words. I'm possible, right? Instead of impossible. I'm possible. I am possible. My music, my ideas, what I want to bring to the world is possible. Most of the time, it's that we need to continue on the path of the evolution to finding the key. It's sort of like searching for the holy grail within your creativity and artistry. And each step on that journey, no matter where you are, you might not have landed it exactly yet, right? And that's okay. So refer to Lizzo and possibility. Keep that alive. It's very important. Precision, and I chose Adele here because her just the precision with which she approaches songwriting in particular. Also, also vocals and all of that, but her approach to her career has always been based on the song and the precision of choosing the best song and to really understand that piece, right? It is about being undeniably good and insisting upon that from yourself. And coming up, I have something to share with you for how we do that. We have a system for doing that, to really knowing whether you have the right songs or not. Precision is the tool to help you earn that spot on those big stages or wherever those stages are that you want to be, right? Like, a certain stage might not be a famous stage, but it's the stage you want to be on, or whatever that is, right? But we want to become a master of the art of precision, and it is a really important piece to strive for at all levels of your career. Patience, and this is John Mayer here, and I put a screenshot of his rant he had on Instagram stories one day, talking about, he's always talking about, he went to Berklee School of Music, he's always talking about the craft, and God bless him, because it's really, really important. He said it best, you might not be good at this either, as I'm saying this, but this will certainly happen to you, right? He says, watch 100 stars being born that aren't you and learn to be cool with it, right? He says, become great, the boring way, the obsessive way. And that's how that's how he has become who he is. He's when you first hear him, you think, oh, he's a good songwriter. When you go to see him, you think, oh my God, he's an incredible musician and guitar player, and performer and singer. So it's like the more that you get into his world and the more you see, the more you're like, wow, right? Which is usually the case with most artists, right? When we just hear them on Spotify or we hear them on the airwaves versus going to see them, it's often a much richer experience because we really get the full picture of their musicality. But patience is one of the most important tools, right? So you want to connect with it when you lose steam or you're running out of steam. Persistence, I chose Lucinda Williams, right? Because she became successful later in life at 48. And the only way to get top of the mountain is by putting one foot in front of the other, stay in the present moment, keep the future in front of you and the past behind you, and don't be looking in the rearview mirror, and persist, right? Because persistence is needed for the journey. I think somebody mentioned that before. It is needed for the journey. Keep yourself in an environment, learning and growing and connecting with others. And I'll invite you into our community at the end of this. You really need that because you need that support to persist, right? And remember, your time will come with the tool of persistence to aid in your journey. No one gets there without it. Pursuit, I chose Taylor Swift. Her sheer determination and great songwriting. She has been, from the day she was born, she's been pursuing being a songwriter and a musician. It's impressive. And, we see with these artists, look, like, yeah, just after one performance, Elvis Presley was fired by the manager of the Grand Ole Opry. Lady Gaga got signed only to be dropped 3 months later. Beatles were turned down by Decca Records. Madonna was rejected by a music producer, and on and on and on. Freebird was rejected, right? Pursuit. And use the pursuit, and I forgot to fill that in, but I would say use the P of pursuit, just to know that that's a part of it. That's, you're driven for a reason, and keep pursuing. And the seventh is profit, right? So if you, and this is, where is my little thing? Because, oh, it's right there. Okay. In the world of arts, profit is almost a dirty word, right? But it's, the lack of it kills countless dreams, and you need it. You need it to succeed. We've seen a lot of it in the chat. It's extremely important. I'm going to show you how to make money. It is often not the first goal, but it eventually will be, because, and then it becomes urgent, because you can't continue for long without it. When I start working with an artist, my manager side comes to the table, and the first thing any manager does is look at the ways to support the career financially so the artist can grow. Think like a manager. I'm going to teach you how to think like a manager. And the biggest leap you're going to make is from making music to making a profit, right? So once you get enough profit to pay the bills and have enough left over to live on, the payoff is huge. You get to do what you love, for the people you love, for a purpose that you love, all because you had the passion that you watered with the nectar of possibility, crafted with the art of precision, with the patience to see it through, with enough persistence to fuel your pursuit long enough to get to the payoff, to the profit. Now you've got both the dream and the money, all in the pursuit of what was once a fantasy. Fait accompli. Fait complete. Every artist has to fight their way to the top, and you can too. And it's rewarding as heck, right? Okay. All right. So now we're going to go into the blueprint. Okay. So we can't discuss sustainable success without the Holy Grail, the three golden keys of marketing. The three golden keys of marketing are, and if you've heard me talk about this, you'll know, the right product, the right message, the right audience. Screenshot this. Don't do this part alone. You need feedback on each one of these to get this help. You can have the right product, but not have the right message or the right audience. You can have the right message, but not have the right product or the right audience. You can have the right audience, but not have the right product or the right message. Okay. These are the three elements that are the dance to success. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know a lot of you are here today because you want to know what's going on and what's current with the business. And we're going to talk about it, because what I'm presenting to you is the most current marketing techniques that are being used. But we can't, if we don't have the right album that's really striking the chord, no marketing tactic in the world is going to make it happen. Okay. It's all based on those foundational pieces. And I'm going to go over them again in just a second. There's three of them, and I'm going to go over them. But these golden keys of marketing, also three, are where you need to keep tweaking. The trick is that you need to keep tweaking until it's really speaking to people. When your music, message, or branding is not striking a chord with your audience yet, it's one of these three areas. It's in the product, the message, or the audience. You can have a great product, but not know how to talk about it and deliver it. And your message, people are just like, oh, the music speaks for itself. No, it doesn't today. You have to really present it, right? So that people can connect to their heart spaces, right? And connect and bond with you. So you can have the right product, but not have the right message. And that means the copy and your materials, the way you're presenting it, right? Or you don't have the right message in your album, right? It's just a random collection of songs, right? It all starts to me with the product. And that's why we do a lot of that kind of work in our signature songwriting circle. And even in my artist sanctuary, like where we talk more business, I'm always talking about what's your mission, where, because it all comes from that. Okay. And you can have the right audience, but not have the right product that they really want, right? And how do you know? You know, because your notifications on your phone are blowing up. Like, it's, people love great music. People love great food, great theater. They get in a line for that restaurant over that restaurant, right? And the thing to understand, and this is the quest that every famous artist is on, or every artist on the climb is on, and then people that are up there to stay up there. Nobody's trying to put out music that isn't good or that isn't extraordinary. I'm thinking of an artist that I worked with who, such an incredible musician, but he overshot on his album. He went too far off on the left or the right or whatever. He went too far off of, and it lost the striking of the chord. And it was good for him as a musician. It was exciting for him, but it didn't connect with people. So that's why we have a whole process that we do at our label services company, and even within our programs, where we listen, reflect, get feedback. And it's always coming from these three golden keys, starting with the product. We need that artist to have evolved, to have something, their message in their music, in the songs, right? Okay, let's dive into it a little bit more. And these are screenshotters, so these will help you. The right product is a 7 to 10 song record at broadcast quality that aligns with your message and vision. Okay. Now, if you're putting out demos, please put them on SoundCloud, not on Spotify. I'm still seeing artists putting demo, not broadcast quality, not high level quality productions on Spotify. Don't do that. Take them down. Put them on SoundCloud where you can get feedback. Don't put them on Spotify or Apple Music, because those digital service providers are an algorithm, and you're gonna get pushed down to the bottom of the feed because their algorithm can tell quality, right? So anything that you're working on, put on SoundCloud, please. But when the first number one thing with the right product, it's a critical piece to being successful as an artist, right? The right songs that are well written, align with your artist persona, the right message, and the songs recorded at broadcast quality level, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we do this in our signature songwriting circle, and we do this in my label services. So without the right product, it won't connect. No marketing strategy in the world will connect, right? So there's your little list, right? High level songs that are well written, workshop your songs, get A&R feedback and direction, work with an A&R director to help. That's what I do. Write two to three times what you need. So for a 10 song album, write 20 to 25 songs. For a 7 song EP, write 14 to 21. So you can pick the cherries. You don't want to just put out what you've written, guys. You want to pick the cherries. That's what Adele does, the very best, right? And get feedback on it. She'll always bring her songs to Rick Rubin, and he'll say, you either don't have it or you have it. And she listens to that, and she's right. And that's why she's able to continue to stay on that high level that she started off on, right? Because that becomes the issue. But for independent artists, it's just as important. Develop your sound and direction. There's also what I do. We do an A&R production creative brief for the producer to really get the artist really connected to the sound and what they're really trying to say, because every time we put a record out, we're saying something artistically. And then the 7 to 10 songs, right. Okay. And singles are not enough. It's okay in the beginning to put a couple singles out, but after a couple of singles, don't continue on the single thing. That was a trend for a while. It's not, big artists still put out albums for a reason, period. Okay, I don't have to say anymore. You need a collection for people to connect with you. Okay, come on, go to the slide. The right message. What is your message? Yes, that's a good one, Linnea. Lonely artworks, very nice. Yes, they're just random, kind of placed by themselves. They don't give you a feeling of the artist, right? Yes, and collect these questions for me, Joelle, if you can. There's some good questions there. But I want to keep us on time because I've got about 10 minutes to get through this, and then I want to workshop. So having the right marketing message is key, and the right branding, right? I see a lot of mistakes here. They say branding is 80% of it. Music is 20. I don't know what I think about that. I would say somewhere not far from that, though. right? That it's really, really important, right? And your branding comes from your mission that you're connecting to when you're writing the record, right? In marketing terms, this is just an interesting, I have this in the summary also, interesting to know or important to know in marketing that the visual gets people to click, the copy converts. The visual, people run across your visual, gets people to click, oh, I'm interested in that. The copy gets them to convert. You know, when you saw this information about this workshop, it was what I was saying that got you to sign up for this, not the visual. The visual was the attractor, but the thing that got you to sign up was what I was saying, right? The copy converts. So it's very important. And you want to use your writing skills to get good at that, right? In marketing, your visual gets people to click, copy makes them convert to listen to your music or opt into your free music download or come to your live stream or come to your live show using your writing skills that to write copy that represents who you are, speaks for you while you are sleeping, connects with your listeners in their heart and offers value to them. So the current theme in marketing is to think from the perspective of what's in it for them rather than, hey, check out my new music. The next time you find yourself going, hey, check out my new music, remember what I said. What's in it for them? Like, oh, I wrote this song one day when I was really blue. You know, if you're having a blue day, it might make you feel heard or, you know, listened to, or you might connect with this, you know, like letting them know what they're going to hear and why they should listen to it, right? Don't worry about, you know, trying to reach all these, you know, oh, well, I don't want to say that because somebody else that was not having a blue day might like the song. No, you're missing the point, right? And if you need help with this, our signature songwriting circle is really where we help you find your sound and message. The right audience. So this is the third golden key. Finding the right audience is everything to a musician. Amen. It's a huge piece of creating a successful, sustainable career. Marketing to the wrong audience is like shouting to deaf ears. So the right steps really starts with the right product and the right message, because you need that to attract the right audience, right? And when you have a record that has a strong, clear, undeniable message that aligns with who you are as an artist, it's way easier to attract that audience. And then you can really speak to them. And your listener is really a version of you, an extension of you. So for instance, one of my artists is a female artist in her 40s, has a message of self-love, who's a mom. You know, then she needs to speak directly to that demographic. And it's easy because it's like you're speaking to your friends, and it should be, right? If you're a male artist who's an activist, an author, and speaks the truth to your audience, what truth you're speaking as an artist? We just did that with Andre Henry and really got him connecting with that. And his new record is doing very well, right? Okay, so the right product, the right message, and the right audience. Those three things are really important for the next piece of this to work, okay? Becoming famous is intangible. Creating a successful, sustainable career, that's attainable. And there are three things that you need to build a successful and sustainable career in music. Number one, the right product. The product has to be great. And this is something that an artist developer said on Twitter the other day. And I was like, thank you, because it's everything. It's everything. Without a strong enough product in the marketplace, and you can go back to that slide about high level skill, songs written on a high level skill. A lot of you, I see many times, people don't tweak their songs enough. They don't get enough feedback on their songs. They put stuff out that is not cherry picked and that is not evolved enough to really be on that high enough level, right? And the whole DIY music industry, I think, has done a big disservice to artists, also social media, because it says, oh, you can put your music out and market and you will be successful, or you can reach all these people. Not if it's not good, and certainly not if it's not great. I see a lot of people applauding songs that are not worthy because they're in a fan base, because they want to make the artist feel good. They want to be, you know, supporter. Is when you go to Spotify, are those numbers growing? The numbers will tell you the truth. Okay. So it's my pet peeve, but it's because it's really important, right? Here are the important pieces: making sure your album is strong enough, your message, mission, and sonic vision of the artist needs to be evolved so the record can make an impression. Carving a path in the marketplace for that artist to grow their fan base and bring in those opportunities. Without it, we can't do it. You need to start by writing 2-3 times what we need. We said that. And the albums that we make, and these are some of them over here on the left, jump over a couple records worth of time in that artist's career, like, so, 2 or 3 or 4 years or 5 years, even in the quality, right? I was working with Simrat on Songs of Resilience. We carved a path. She went from performing to 50 people to 5,000 now in the audience because of carving that sound, right? It's a whole long story, but she was performing to a yoga audience wearing a turban. And I said, is that what you want? Is that the audience that you want? She's like, no, I want to go more mainstream. So we fleshed out the sound to build a bigger sound and worked on her brand. She came up with these headdresses instead. And it really spearheaded her career. And she just did a tour. She's on a tour right now, I think, or going back out, but a tour this summer that just by my rough calculations looked like it's around 2 million. At a low ball. So successful. Okay. Lynn and Ray, that album On the Mend, I got a major licensing deal for. I A&R'd that record and helped them through the songwriting process and really getting their message in their songs. And it blew Steve Sharf away and we got a major licensing deal. Anyway, I can tell you more and more stories, but it's all about the product being great. Come to me, show me your songs, let me help you with that. It's really important. 2 is to build a strong artist brand, right? So the key to building your brand, the right product, the right message, the right audience, that's the key. You need to learn your value as an artist and what you have to offer. And listen and watch other artists, study their paths, learn how the industry works. Keep yourself in a community of artists and mentors to grow and learn whatever you do. Don't isolate, okay? And we're going to talk about building that brand as it pertains in particular to building your fan funnel today. And this is the business side of the artist career. We build the funnel to attract fans and followers, turning followers into fans and fans into true fans. And how do we do that? Okay, so building your fan funnel, and in your download in the artist blueprint is this funnel, okay? The first piece of it, the really important hurdle to get over is understanding that followers are not fans, right? So having 5K, 6K, 3K, 10K followers on socials means nothing if they're not engaged. And they're followers, they're not fans, okay? I said this on social media yesterday. So anyone that was on my social media, on my IG Live yesterday, who heard the answer to this, zip your lips, okay? What's the most important thing that you need to do in your career? Let me know in the comments what you guys think to build that list of true fans. Clueless. I like the honesty. Anyone that was on my IG Live, zip your lips. Advertise. Nope, not it. Connect with the audience. These are all good, but that's not it. Figure out what you want to have that people also want. That's a good one. That's not it. Share who you are. Good, but not it. Find the first one. Good, but not it. Be vulnerable. Help your fans practice. It's all good. Not it. Clarity of who you are as an artist. The reason why it's harder for you to find it is because it's probably boring, but it's I swear to God, it's the last thing that most artists think of. And it's the most important thing. Clarity of who you are, not exactly it. All of these are important. Practice, emails, ask your people to buy your music, consistency. Emails is close. Consistency, okay. Build your list. Your email list. Your list of followers, your email, not your social media, your email. And as you'll see on this funnel here, which I'm going to get into in just a minute, it starts with socials. It moves to the offer, to free music, to nurture, because they're on your list now. When they joined your list, they're on your email list because they got your free music. Then that turns them from a follower into a fan. But there's another level that turns them into true fan. Okay. Turns them into true fan. So the list is the most important thing that you focus on. So what are most people doing right now? Shouting out on social media. How many people in this room right now have an email list? How many people? Okay, Esther does, Richard does, Danny does, Janine does, Athena does, Marklin does. 6 people out of 42 people who are here right now. Magdale does. Uju, I used to. Uju, you are in Monopoly jail right now. You are not allowed to post on social media until you have a newsletter. Nainaries, yes, but I've never used it. Like the honesty. Justin listed 20, not big enough, but okay, it's a start. They're not fans though. Sergio, he does, yes. Okay. Number one thing, anyone who does not have an email list, you are in jail until you have an email list. I said that on IG Live yesterday. I thought that was really hilarious, but it's really true and sad. Okay. Okay. The next thing though, how many people who have that email list send out a monthly newsletter that goes out the same day, the same time, the same day of the month, or a weekly? I know Sergio has a weekly. How many people send out a monthly newsletter? Tell me in the chat. Monthly or weekly? Hit most days, not same day. Nope, doesn't count. Doesn't count. It's not most months, Esther. It has to be every single month, like clockwork, without missing a month. I have put out a monthly newsletter, I don't know, 12 years, every 15 years, every Monday, every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. I've never failed. And okay, I know I'm a musicpreneur now, not an artist, but this is really important for artists. This is because it builds trust. It's incredibly important. Yeah, monthly-ish. Yeah. Monopoly jail, everybody. Janine's in jail. Magdale's in jail. Esther's in jail. Heather's in jail. Yeah, because you don't have music out, so you stopped. No. That's off and on again. That's not reliable. That's not trustworthy. We don't believe it. Okay. Yeah, it has to be consistent. Richard doesn't. Yep. And Anne, well, you're a manager though, but still you need to talk about your artists. You need to. It should in your newsletter needs to be information about your artists. I would read it. Okay, it's important. I want to know what's going on with Joe and Jan. I don't have the time to go find, right? Every month. Okay, everybody, number one thing that you do. I'm not kidding. I am really not kidding. I'm passionate about it. I'm not yelling at you, I promise, but it's so important. You have no idea why. Because you cannot convert that person on your list who is now a new fan. You have deserted them. They now cannot convert into a true fan, and they would have. Okay. Chances are, especially if you're not communicating to them, that might be a dead list, right? You might have to start again. Market inconsistent. Yeah, artists are really inconsistent. If they're releasing something, they email you. If they're not, they don't. Well, that's not very nice. Is that how you would treat a friend? You just call them when you want something? You know what I mean? I mean, really think about it, right? Because we're going to talk about relationship marketing in just a minute. Kate's in jail. Yep. Jen Marie's in jail. Anne's a poet. She's in jail. Dory, once a month is only 12 newsletters. Exactly. And it doesn't matter where you are on the cycle of writing, recording, releasing, promoting. This is the thing you got to get out of your head. You are an artist. You are a brand. You are a small business. You create that trustworthiness to convert that person who just joined your list and then you abandon them. You can turn them into a true fan, and that true fan is going to support you, and I'm going to show you the numbers in just a minute that are going to blow your mind. They're going to blow your mind so you can understand how important this is. This isn't just, oh, because I told you so and you need to do it. No, I'm going to show you the numbers. Okay. And your mind is going to be blown. Monthly is best, just twice a month. Look, don't get fancy. Okay. Once a month is the prescription. Okay. Listen to me. Once a month is the prescription. Once you get that going, if you want to do twice a month, fine, but don't start doing twice a month and you're like, oh, it's too much. And then you stop. No, once a month is the minimum. Okay. And in your newsletter, and I can't get into all of it today, but in your newsletter, it needs to be the same order every time that you send it so people can easily find where stuff is. You've got that letter from you, you've got a picture, a letter from you, you've got the thing that is you're featuring that you want them to go watch this new video, or you want, or just a video. It doesn't have to be new, because you're always promoting stuff even after things are been out there for a while, because a new fan might come on and they don't even know your last album. Okay, so while you're working on, like Heather, you should have all your albums there so people can see, you know. And people, artists are often like, oh, I don't want to share that, I'm embarrassed. No, don't do that. You put it out and you were confident at a certain point, and you know, it's good. Promote it. Okay, stop with this nonsense. Stop. So you've got the thing that you're featuring, one thing that you're featuring, then you have a piece of merch, and if you don't have merch, this is going to be a big piece. You're going to need to look at this. I'll show you in the funnel. And then following that, you need to have where you're performing. And then at the bottom, everywhere they can hear your music, all your links, but designed nicely. Okay, and your link tree needs to be the same. And if you don't have a website, how many people have a website here? How many people have a website? Okay, how many people have an amazing updated website? Look at all the yeses. People are relieved. Oh my God, yes. Okay, whose website is really updated and freaking amazing? Update it regularly. Esther, gold star. General EPK, okay. Most people abandon their websites, okay? Updating it now, right now, exactly. Don't do that, because as you learn this funnel, your website is really important. It's the first thing they're going to see in the funnel. It's what converts that follower into a fan. Okay, let's get into it. We said all of this. So to make a good living, and a good one, making music, 1,000 true fan model works, but that doesn't mean 1,000 fans on your social profile, or if you're really cool on your email list. There's a different number that you need in order to have that 1,000 true fans. I'm going to show you in just a minute. But true fans are the people who buy from you. Okay, just get that in your head. A true fan is somebody that actually buys something. They buy your vinyl, they buy your merch, they come to your shows, they pay to come to your shows and your live streams, and they tip you at live streams and all that stuff. The goal is to create a funnel that nurtures your followers. It gets people to convert to buyers, true fans. And this is a method that is working. And it can be a little tricky and requires a bunch of tweaking until it starts flowing. So you can't just set it up and abandon it. No more abandoning your fans, people, okay? No more abandoning your fans, nurturing your fans, nurture your relationships, right? To build a successful, sustainable career in music, the acquisition of 1,000 true fans, I'm going to show you the numbers in a minute, equals 200,000 in annual income. Okay, I'm going to show you this. So we start with 125 true fans, because that's where a lot of people are. But a fan funnel is a marketing funnel to bring people in, as we just saw that funnel, right? To attract those followers, to convert into fans, to convert those fans into true fans with your monthly newsletter and your emails. Otherwise, But there's an art to it, because too many emails can turn people off. Not enough emails, you know. It's you got to keep tweaking it, right? I asked that question already. Okay, here it is. So screenshot this. This is also in your blueprint. Okay, but I want you to look at this. Okay, I'm going to start at the top. 1,000 true fans. So based on marketing statistics that say from 3 to 7% of people on your list will buy from you. That's a marketing statistic, right? A proven marketing statistic. We're going to round it out just for the sake of numbers at 5%. So if 5% of your list, 1,000 is 5% of 20,000. So in order to actually have 1,000 true fans on your list, a pretty, a good guesstimate is that you're going to need around 20,000 people on your list. Okay, now that's overwhelming for most people here. Does anybody have that kind of list size? If you were here, you probably wouldn't, because you'd be making the money that you need, or you're just really smart and you want to get better. Okay. If that fan spends $200 a year, they buy a piece of vinyl, they buy some merch, they buy this, they buy that, times 1,000 people is $200,000. Are your eyes popping out of your head yet? right? Does that make sense? It's not a lot of merch. It's not a lot of merch. It's 1,000 people buying something from you, right? A t-shirt and a vinyl. That's not a lot of merch for you to create, right? And we can do on demand now, so it's really easy. Now, Athena, keep your mind open. Stop saying, whoa, that's a lot of merch. Stop saying those things. Stop doing that. Keep your mind open. You're not open. Okay. Yeah, don't do that. And it's really important because you're not the only one. You were just vocal about it. You're going to find all your resistance coming up. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. That's normal when you're learning something new and you're like, why didn't I know that before? Dumb me. You guys hearing all that conversation in your head? That's all lies and all bullshit. Don't listen. Okay, now let me go down. Okay, let's go down to 125 true fans. It feels overwhelming at 1,000, Turtle. It's not at 125. Okay, so let's get down. Well, I think a lot of the resistance is that artists don't feel valuable unless they're releasing music. Anybody feel that way here? Does anybody? Okay, it's a lie. It's not true. It's not true. It's in your head. It's in your head. Okay, it's not true. People fall in love with people. So one of this really huge artist developer, we were having a conversation on Twitter the other day, and she said, you know, a big piece of it, she's using this exact funnel. A big piece of it is teaching the artist how valuable they are, how valuable who they are and what they have to offer to their audience. We're not talking about millions of people, guys. We are not talking about having to be rich and famous. That's intangible. We can't control that. This we can control. This we can control. I can teach you how to do this. I have artists doing this, and one of our artists made $8,000 last month. I am not kidding you, on Twitch. Okay, so this is not just a good idea. This is actually what's working. You want to know what's working? This is what's working. So keep your mind open. Don't close the doors in your mind right now. Whatever resistance you have, write it down. I can address it with you. I can teach you how that's not true. Okay. And I can't get into the whole thing of teaching you how to sell. I'll do another workshop on it because it's really important, but this is working. So let's go down to 125 true fans. We're going to workshop in just a minute. So you need an email list of 2,500. Does that seem doable to you? Okay. Does that seem doable? 2,500 people on your list. Okay. Is anybody close to that? Well, Linnea, that's a little resistance there. You're not sure. You don't know that for sure. Okay. And MB, are you making money? Are you making $25,000 a year? So if it's not the list itself that will do it, it's the monthly newsletter, it's the email nurture series, it's the CTAs. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. So if you have 2,500 and you're not converting, then you're not converting them to true fans. So there's something wrong in your communication, in the consistency of your communication, the way you're communicating and what you're asking. And you always need to ask after you've given them value. And I'm going to teach you about that. But this is really, really important. It's something wrong that's fixable, to be honest. And you'd be surprised, you'd be shocked. MB, are you doing live streams at all? Yeah, so we need to create this funnel of offers and opportunities. Let me get into it. Relationship marketing refers to cultivating meaningful. Oh, Megan Burt. Yes, Megan, you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Oh my God, let me teach you this. Such an incredible artist. So cultivating more meaningful relationships with fans But, and Megan, sorry, I have another Megan. Megan is really good at this. But you're probably not asking them to buy, and you're probably not creating that, you know, value, great at value, value, and then a CTA. So CTA is a call to action. A call to action at the end of every post, at the end of every communication by email, at the end of in every monthly newsletter. Megan, do you send out a monthly newsletter? I don't think you do, because I think I'm on it. Yeah, only when you're performing or releasing, usually, right? Okay, so we want to build, yeah, you're in jail. You're in jail until you get that going, and send it to me when you have it. Make sure I'm on your list. It's, you guys, it's so important. You're not bringing them in. You're not nurturing them. You're not pointing them. You're not telling them where you want them to go and why. You have to do that. You have to do that. Okay. Yeah. Richard's definitely in jail. It's a big jail cell. Yes, it's a big jail cell with everybody here, but we're going to get you out. We're going to get you out. I'm giving you the key today, and we're going to free you. Okay. So, you build things by the perspective, what's in it for them, by giving value, and then offering always that CTA. Okay. So I'm not going to go deep into this because I want to get into, okay. So your offers here, right? So your social media, it's your offers in a sequence. All right. It's in a sequence. Your social media posts at the bottom of every post. Uju, Kate, listen, everybody listen. After you say your lovely thing, go to my album, go to my website, go here and download my free album. That's about blah, 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 blah. You got to market it a little bit, you know, to brighten up your day or to whatever. And if you really want to look at a great opt-in, look at Tess Posner, who's one of our artists in our membership, tessposnermusic.com. And I'm putting it in the link in the chat here. And when you go there, you'll see it says, join my Wildflower Diaries. She asks what flower you are, and come and join. You know, when you join the list, you're going to be invited to my live streams where I'm going to talk about songwriting. So it's really clear. It's a clear call to action, right? And it's something that makes me want to sign now. I want to join the Wildflower Diaries. I need some wildflowers in my life, you know? So this is what's working, and Tess is killing it. So this is what's working, right? So, but if we don't offer, the thing is, people do their website, they do their offer, but they don't point to it. How many people have a website, but they never point to it? They never point to it. How many people have a website, but do not have, how many people have a free music download? How many people have a free music download? Okay, how many songs? Okay, let me ask you this. How many people have a free album download? Album. It's not outdated, Jason. It's very important. I don't have a free music download. How could it be outdated? How could giving your new fan a full album be outdated? Right? EP download, that's not bad. EP 5 songs, that's not bad. It's not bad. It's just okay. Does one song make somebody convert on an email to get one song? No. Does 2 songs? No. Does 3 songs? Maybe. Does 5 songs? Sort of. Does 7 songs? Okay. Does 10 songs? 7 to 10 songs? Yes. Does that make sense? If you have one single release yet it was nominated for a Grammy, oh, that's amazing. Well, put it on your website. But Jason, you need more. So I would do a bunch of covers or something. Just record them, do really cool versions, and don't make it complicated, right? You can update it. 7 minimum, Sergio, but Sergio, you have a huge catalog. It should be a full album. Give away a double album, for Christ's sake. Give away a double album and then point to it and watch your list grow. Okay. Yeah, they can stream it on Spotify. They can do this, they can do that. These are the current marketing tactics that are working, that helped my client make $8,000. Okay. It's really important. All right. double album, you'll see what happens. And then you have to have the right message and marketing piece to draw them to that, and the right image and the right offer on your website. So just remember, whatever you're saying on your post, how you're talking about it should be the same thing they see when they go to the opt-in. So if it's join my wildflower diaries, it should say join my wildflower diaries. If it's because the lack of consistency is a huge piece in marketing. So, and the image, well, you're not gonna put an image at the bottom of your CTA, but the image needs to, so if I am marketing something and my ad is one design and they go to the page and it's another design, do you know how many people that you lose? Guess how many people you lose in transition who clicked on that ad, who were interested and went to your website and it looked different? How many people, what's the percentage of people you think you lose? 80, not bad. 90, better. 95, 98%. Yes, Kate, 98%. You lose 98% because it didn't say the same thing or look the same. Okay. Yeah, so this is really important. Okay, this is the funnel. So we're going to do the workshopping piece. We're probably going to run over as I usually do, but I do have a class that I can't run too late on this, but I always want to give you guys value. CTA is very important. All right. And you got to have that free music download, and it's got to be freaking juicy, man. Make it juicy, because you're bringing in that true fan. You're on your way to $200,000, or you're on your way to 25,000, or you're on your way to whatever, but you've got to be on your way somewhere, right? Otherwise, what are we doing? Linktree, big link, make sure you have all your possible links are available on your social, the Linktree that you're using. And it's the same Linktree or big link wherever you are. And it's got your music, and always put in order of priority the most important thing that you want. Keep it active. You know, on our Linktree, we always have our current offer at the top. And that's the way it is for musicians. You know, Lucinda Williams is really good at this. If you go to her website, she's using these tactics. Who else is really good? The Sweeplings are really good. What order in Linktree? If you have a new thing out, then you put it at the top. If it's your last album, but you know, it depends. Your music, your free offer. If you don't have like a new single coming out, which you don't always, or a new EP or whatever, then at the top would be to join my Wildflower Diaries. Okay, that's the number one thing. Why? Because what's the number one thing that you do as an artist? What's the number one thing that you do as an artist that you're learning? What's the number one thing that you do on the path? Everyone's afraid not to say anything. Yes, build that email list. Build the 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 list. And you could be more interesting to say, build the list of 1,000 true fans. Build the list of my true fans. That might be more heartfelt for you. Build the list of my true fans. But build the list is the most important thing. Why? Because social media, Ari Herstand, who, you know, just updated his third version of the New Music Business, said, social media followers you rent, your list you own. So one of our artists was getting ready to release her single that she had written with our team. It was an extraordinary song. She had a huge following on her Facebook fan group. Her Facebook page got hijacked the day of the release, right? So when the people that you have on social media are not your fans, okay? They might act like fans, but true fans buy, okay? True fans support, right? So you need, it's not just promote, it is promote, but it's direct people to the offer. Jason is a better way to say it. Direct people to your offer in your funnel, right? In order. It's a relationship marketing. You don't ask people to buy without giving them something first, right? That's why we give the free music, we get them on the list, then we start marketing to them along with our offers, but we don't start pushing buy, that'll turn somebody off. So your free music download, I like with a PDF of liner notes, Sergio, PDF of liner notes, make it nice. You got a lot to say. The musicians who played on it, right? Because we're missing the liner notes today. So that would make it even sweeter, right? And then email list, monthly newsletter. Y'all are in jail till you have that. Lives weekly. So 30-minute lives every week, right? A 30-minute live, you just come on and you chat, you play a little something, you ask them how they're doing, you talk a little bit, and then you invite them to get your free music download. Okay. So a 30-minute live, this is to aim for, this is a screenshotter. Then your live streams weekly for 120 people are doing 2 to 4 hours. I would just do 2 hours, but, and I would use Twitch. So you can do what you want, but I would use Twitch because that's where everybody is. And people are monetizing their music. So those of you who want to monetize, who wants to monetize their music, if you don't have a weekly live stream, how are you going to monetize? How are you monetizing? Okay. Yeah. Weekly live stream, same day, same time. So every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Esther is going to be on Twitch. And that's in your CTAs, right? So you're using social media to invite people to get your free music, to then invite them to your live streams, to then convert them into true fans who buy. And they start with tipping on Twitch, right? Then you've got them on your email nurture series, and then you're making merch that matters, which I can't go into all of that today, but I'm designing product lines with people and they're selling and it's amazing. Musicians make money from live performance, sync, and merch. Okay, sync is a tougher one to crack and it's not for everybody. I can't go into much more because I'm going over. Inside, this is your marketing funnel. Okay, so, and you want to follow this line. Joelle designed this. Isn't that beautiful? You follow this line. Okay. So social media with CTAs is very extremely important. Your link tree is extremely important because if you're not directing them, how will they know where to go? And then the lives so the weekly lives, actually it should be free music download 3 and then 4 weekly lives, kind of interchangeable there, but they're both important. Join the email list. The weekly live invites them to the live stream. CTA is call to action, the request. Go and get my music, my free music. Come to my live stream, come to my live, click the notification bell so you're notified when I go live on Instagram. Okay. It's a CTA. 6, email series, monthly newsletter, boosted ads, paid ads, merch, monthly residency, and membership community. I didn't talk about monthly residency, but that's really important that you grow your online and you grow your regional. So who has a monthly residency? That means the same day of the month at a local venue. Does anybody have a monthly residency? So we want a weekly live, 30 minutes that invites them to a 2-hour live stream. And that's your online audience, which is the whole world. And then your monthly in-person residency at the same venue, local venue, and you build your online. This is what labels do. We build regionally first, and then we go out, right? And that could be a whole nother webinar, right? I just want to do in a 2-hour. Yes, Tom, good question. I will get to that. Here's the summary. So this is a good screenshot. You'll get these slides also. The 7 Ps help you stay on point. The biggest leap is from making music to making profit. Build your artist brand and your brand, and then your fan, the right product, the right message, the right audience, and then your fan funnel to turn followers into fans and fans into true fans through a series of offers and experiences. People want an experience of your music. If you're not performing live or doing a live stream, how can they connect to you? Okay, how can they bond with you, right? Golden keys of marketing, blah, blah, blah. Keep yourself connected to a community like this. If you like this, come and join our Artist Sanctuary membership. We do this all the time. You will progress. And there are many people in my sanctuary who are actually here because they're getting excited. This concludes the presentation part. Now we're going to do some workshopping, and then we're going to give you the opportunity to join us, and then we are going to answer Q&A. So open up the worksheet and you put it on your desktop. We can maybe put it in the chat again. Continue to put your questions in the chat and comments, and Joelle will grab them. She's grabbing them for me when I open that up. So if I want you to pop open the worksheet, and when you look on the worksheet, does everybody have that worksheet? Yes. Let's see, Joelle. Can you add the worksheet to the chat? Okay, I'm going to just open it up. Here it is. So on the first page, we see that calculation here and how it actually goes down. Then we see our fan funnel from socials to free music to nurture. That means a monthly newsletter on the email list to turn a fan into a true fan. And then here's our marketing funnel, right? And then I gave you a worksheet piece to work through each piece. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do, did she get it there? She might not be. Oh, there she is. Yes, lovely. Thank you so much, Joelle. So pull that up on your screen, guys, because I want you to look through the workshop sections, worksheet section. So it's on page 5 through page 8. Okay. And I want you to identify what's the most important thing that you do. Okay. Build the list. You'll never forget. But it might be that free music download. So do I need to set it up? What do I need to do, right? Do I need to design something for my website for the opt-in? What is it that I need to do? Jot down a couple of notes there. How old is too old to be an artist? Dead. When you're dead. When you're dead, you can't be an artist. Until then, you can be an artist. Does not matter. Who was it? That classical musician was 96 or something, won a Grammy. Lucinda Williams was 48. There's no age, especially today. There's no age. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I think Lucinda Williams was 48 when Car Wheels of Gravel Road won a Grammy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not just starting, Lorraine. You've been at this for a while. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know why? You know why? Does anybody know why? It doesn't matter how old you are. Does anyone know why? Somebody tell me why. Good. Somebody tell me why. I did my first record at 40. Somebody tell me why. It doesn't matter how old you are. Because people can relate. Not bad. Art is timeless. Good. Because how many people do you need to be successful? How many true fans do you need to be successful? Depends on what your definition of success is, right? If you want to make 25,000, you need 125. And then you have to know how to sell, which I'll do a whole webinar on that. Yeah, anywhere from 500 to 1,000 true fans is all you need. Yes, Stephen, bingo. Stephen has the answer. Because there's an audience for everyone at any age who can relate to your music. Exactly. So we're only looking for a certain amount of people your age. You can find them in a world of 8 billion people. Girlfriend, boyfriend, friend, we can find them. Oh, I think it's 8 billion in the world. Yeah, 500 to 1,000 is nothing. We did not lose 3 billion over COVID, did we? Well, you get my point, okay? So look at the worksheet. What is the one thing? Is it the music download? Is it the live stream? Is it the lives, the 30-minute lives, which I don't have on here? Is it the monthly newsletter? Is it the email nurture series? Okay, so tell me in the chat, when you look at this worksheet, what's the number one thing that you're going to do in the next couple of weeks? What's the number one thing that you're going to do? So some of you might need to set up an email list with MailChimp or something like that. It's a good platform. Build my email list. Yes. So what's the number one thing we need, Uju? We need the free album. Give away your last free album or bundle at least 5 songs. But if you have more, guys, give it away. Don't be holding on like a tightwad. Oh, I spent X amount of money on that. I need to make that money back. That's not the kind of thinking, that the mentality that you need today, right? Because when we give it away, there was a hip hop group, and this was maybe 10 years ago, before this was even that popular. And they gave away their album. They were one of the first people to do it. And they gave away, might have been 15 years ago. And they gave away their album. I can't remember their name. They built such a huge fan base, and all of their shows people could come to for free. Like, they just really went over because they knew somebody in that band knew marketing. Because once you have those fans, they're never going to leave you. Okay. Good. CTAs on social posts. Good. Schedule time to write newsletter. Yeah. And here's the thing, you have to keep tweaking it. So if you start using CTAs and it's not working, something about the way you're talking about it or about your visuals is not attracting people or working. So go back to the golden keys of marketing, the right product, the right message, the right audience, right? Or you don't have the right audience. So it's all about that magical equation, right? A free giveaway can be cover songs, plural, at least 5. Yeah, and if you have covers on YouTube, grab the audio and just make them into MP3s and send them to your list and set it up through Dropbox and set up an automatic email responder that introduces you and say, oh my God, I'm so excited that you're here. Here's the blah, blah, blah. And, I'll be hearing from you. You'll be hearing from me soon. And I'm so excited to have you on our list and things like that. Like all your love. No, you don't need to license the covers you give away because you're not making money on them. Okay, let me go to questions in just a moment. And then on page 9, you have, you can just check off or just circle the phase that you're at that you want to aim for, right? So that person who has 25, Megan has 2,500 fans, you want to work on your monthly newsletter and your email nurture series to start converting people to buying your merch. Yeah, Megan, you should join our sanctuary because we walk you through all of this, right? It's only $49 a month, guys. I mean, come on, that's like unbelievable. So let me go back to my slides now, and then I'm going to answer questions. So if you like this today, but you really want to get the structure and the focus and the high level of creativity and collaboration and work with a community of dedicated artists, many who are in this chat with Kate, with Uju, and Dory's in here and whoever else is in here, come and join. It's $49 a month right now because we have a special. And if you buy the year, I think it goes down to $41 a month for a year. We have, I'm going to tell you what's in it. It's really extraordinary. We have a monthly mastermind that's 2 hours. We have a monthly group coaching call that's 2 hours. We have a monthly sounding board, bi-monthly, every other month, sounding board listening session where we listen to music for albums. Is this the right song? That kind of thing. What needs to be fixed? Is it on the level that you need? Every 2 months. Every 2 months, we have a music industry guest speaker from my Rolodex. And then it's a global community of people all over the world. Uju's in it as well. And music industry referrals and resources. We have a fully built out music industry section. We also have a wellness section in the music industry section. I've been told it's the most robust membership from people that have been in other memberships, and well designed. But right now it's a promotion that you save $10 a month until Tuesday is the promotion. But if you want to do this, just get in, just do it. Joelle will be here to answer questions, and she can put the link to the chat for the Artist Sanctuary in the comments now, because I want to get your questions as well. But this is an extraordinary opportunity to come and work with us and get my eyes and ears on your brand and your business to fix what's not working. Turtle's also in it, yes, and Kate. Talked about that. There's also artist spotlight opportunities. So we spotlight within membership, and then we also do IG lives where we're talking about the artist journey to give you a lot of exposure. We have about 75,000 in our extended social media, so it's a lot of exposure, and you can apply for that. Here are some of the testimonials. Eli Lev, Cari has an incredible community of national and international artists that support each other in their careers, which is a really powerful thing in a somewhat isolated pursuit. I can't thank her enough. Alexandra, I found beautiful and lasting relationships with other artists and writers in Cari's international music community. If you're feeling stuck, start here. The resources, connections, and industry professionals provided to you through Cari's programs are priceless, et cetera, et cetera. Rainsford said, working with Cari is the single most influential choice I've made in becoming a professional recording artist. She started with voice lessons, and now she's on the bill with Leon Bridges. Megan said, working with Cari is a beautiful balance of technique and strategy mixed with heart and soul. She has methodologies, blah, 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 blah. So you can see, you know, Sam, we rejuvenated his career. He was ready to give up. We rejuvenated it. And now he just got a nod in Rolling Stone. And this is all through my mentorship and mentorship within the community. And Simrit's career went from performing to 50 people to 5,000 to a $2 million tour. So come and do this, guys. You know, that's all I got to say. The monthly plan, you can just sign up for a month and see if you like it. When you sign up for the month, you get access to the past, to the last 2 months. You get access to our, we start in April, you get access to the April masterminds, the coaching calls, all of it. Like you get access to everything the minute that you sign. And then we have our first mastermind tomorrow. Is it? No. Next week? Oh, we already had it. We have our coaching call next week, but you can listen to our March mastermind when we talk about this subject. So I always release to the membership first, the material that I'm releasing. Thank you, Uju. The sanctuary embodies the name. Glad to be a part of it. The annual, if you sign up for a whole year, you get our record release plan. That's a bonus. And then you get 2 months free, basically. And there is an option for a VIP upgrade. So you can, for $199 a month, you get a private 30-minute session with me. And my privates are $250. So for less than a private session with me, you get the entire annual and the VIP upgrade. Well, you can do monthly or annual in the VIP upgrade. You have to use that ASM special. So just screenshot that. I'm going to go to questions now, and then I'm going to come back to this so that you guys will have this information and have everything. Okay. So let's go to Q&A, and I'm going to come back to ASM. All right. So I'm going to look at the questions here in the chat. Oh, good. How are you guys liking this webinar today? Are you gaining a lot? Are you getting clarity and focus, which is what we really, really want? You know, the thing is, you'd be surprised on how much you can actually make and start converting, like right now. It's really incredible. How Janelle Nabong made 8,000 last month on Twitch. She's been live streaming for about a year, and Twitch takes a good chunk of the profit that artists make, but that helps them. They're a partner for you. And so they gave her an opportunity to be featured, and she got millions of people on her feed. So it really pays off. And we developed, well, she had a piece of merch. She's in her message. She's an unknown artist. And she's been live streaming a couple times a week. She does for a long time, has built up quite a community. And on Twitch, it's automatically built in. Those of you that have questions about how long should a live stream be? What do you do? Go and research, go and watch the top live streams on Twitch, and you'll see it's very different. Everybody has a different kind of community. It's pretty casual. It's not like a concert. It's more that it's a place to gather with your fans. You chat with them. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Today I'm going to be, talking about this, and I'm going to be, performing this song. We're going to be breaking down. Some people break down their Pro Tools sessions, show how they create. Some people talk about the songwriting process. Some people just talk about self-love, or, Janelle talks a lot about mental health. That's her thing. And she had a piece of artwork that is of a bipolar person. She's talks about how, she has a diagnosis of bipolar. And so she made this drew this painting, and she sells prints at $50 a pop, and they sell quite a bit. A lot of people in her community are, people that struggle with mental health. And then she has a bunch of other drawings. And then she also does these crocheted beanies, and they sell really well at $75. So I'm telling you, you guys are missing out. Like right now, that can be happening for you. I'm not kidding. I'm really not joking. And it's learning how to sell without being salesy. It's learning the value that you bring to people. There's other ways to really monetize. And yes, licensing is fantastic, and a lot of these things are fantastic, but they're intangible. They're reliant upon a lot of things. This is tangible within your reach. right? Okay, so some of the questions. Linnea, how to structure a business to accurately reflect band members' stakes and their time put in. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Been in a million bands. It's pretty hard to do and to do well. And if you're the principal songwriter, it's kind of different. So, you're in our VFC program. Feel free to send me your ideas on that, and I can give you some of my thoughts. It depends on where you are, what part of the world, and how to, I would, well, let me just say this. I would start with, what a session musician gets paid in New York is very different in Ohio. So, it depends on where you are and like what the going rate is. And I would probably like cut it in half. Just you do the exercise yourself for the amount of time that they're putting in and assign a dollar amount to it for yourself. You don't have to, it's an exercise for you. You don't have to show it to them so that you can actually see before you start putting something together, the amount of time that they are putting in so you can determine their worth, right? And then figure out when you play shows, what that percentage would be that would go to them. You're the one putting in more hours. That's why I'm saying do as an exercise. And then you can always share that with them. Maybe have your own internal copy that has more details in it. And then if you were, I don't know how much you want to share with them, but it'll help you accurately, I put in 40 hours a week and they put in 10 hours a week, that there's a different monetization. Does that make sense? Troy, sync opportunities. We're not really talking about sync today, but I know a lot. The one thing I will say is I know a lot of sync agents and those kinds of things. It's a very complex world and it moves very, very fast and you have to have 100% clearance. You probably know all that stuff, but it's really important. And the thing about it is they're either looking for period pieces because a lot of, movies or series are based in a particular period of time. And so if your music's good for that, then that's great. A lot of people want you to write for the series. It's just more complicated. But the way that I get sync deals for people is because I know a lot of those people and I will refer an album when I know it's the taste of that company. And I know it was written at a very high level and the music is extraordinary and they go through our system. So that's how I'm doing it. But I like to match make because, sending out your music to just a whole bunch of music supervisors is going to do nothing. Athena, is high quality different than broadcast quality? Yes. Broadcast quality, it has to be up to certain standards and you can Google that. Has to be up to certain standards for the DSP algorithms to consider it broadcast quality. Most things that people are mixing on their own studios is not broadcast quality, I'll say that. But you can always take your music and have it mastered and mixed and mastered for broadcast quality. Uju, what if you only have one single release, yet it was nominated for a Grammy last year? Yeah, we talked about that. Linnea, is this free music something different than what's on streaming? No, it's the same. It doesn't matter. The fact that you're giving them your album is different than them paying for a streaming subscription, right? So a lot of people like when they have the album. Now, I think add a PDF of the liner notes, make it a nice design like we used to do with albums with liner notes. So it gives them a nice touch and they can learn more about the album and the musicians that played on it and who produced it and all the things that are in liner notes. And anything else that you want to talk about the making of the record could be a really nice thing to add to that, nice piece of value. Oh, that was Jason that said that. What if you have one single release and nominated for Grammy? Heather, is there a strategy for which album to select of which you have multiple? Heather, I would give away 2 albums actually, just like Sergio, because you have such a catalog. Your favorite ones, probably the last 2, I would say, the most recent, probably the better material. And then Kate, what order in Linktree? I think we talked about that. Troy, any thoughts on blending covers with originals during live streams? That's fine. Yeah, absolutely. You can, once you go and you start watching what people are doing on live streams, you'd be surprised. How old is too old to be an artist? I said, when you're dead. Esther, do you need to license coverage to give away? No. Can we legally give away recordings of cover songs? Yes, as long as you're giving them away. If you're not charging for a cover song, you won't be penalized. How long do you wait before you know it isn't working in the funnel, right? Just by, Joelle and I tap in like once a week, but we're not like overthinking it. Like, I would say for an artist, like we look at our stats, we have our like we look at our email stats at the end of the day. Usually if we're doing a marketing thing, when you're releasing something, you would look every day. When you're not releasing something, you would look once a week. Just look at your numbers. Oh, it's growing a lot more. Oh, people are opting in. Oh, I got more followers on Spotify from that CTA. Like we just gave the Artist Sanctuary the assignment to put a CTA at the bottom of every post, and we started using it. I was asking Kate to track it for me, like how many actual numbers did you see? Like track the numbers, do a spreadsheet, and track your Spotify followers and track, but it depends on what you're asking. Like if you're asking them to follow you on Spotify, then track the number when you asked, and then a week later check, and then a week later check, and then every week check and see and record the numbers, and then you can see if your calls to action are working. If your calls to action are not working, it could be because you have the wrong audience that aren't really interested in in your music, especially when you've been away for a while. Like, just it's a whole thing. But just stay attentive to it and start noticing. It can be hundreds of dollars for a cover license, Athena, when you're selling. You have to get a license for a cover when you're selling it. When you're giving it away, you don't have, because there's no money exchanged. Tom Gale, how does one get the notes and worksheets, please? I didn't see a link in the emails. We don't send it out until after. Yeah. Heather, do you recommend people separate their business from personal and social media, have a personal Instagram or artist account? People do that. You can do that. Like, if like you're talking real politically on Twitter, you might want to have a separate account than your artist account. I always say try to make it, because it's really a lot of work to have two accounts. Now, if you have a personal account, but you're not really posting anything, you're not looking for to gain followers there, you just want to, like I have a private account on Instagram for shopping, but sometimes, things like that, it's not part of my business account, but I try not to, because it's just a lot to keep up with. Mila, do you have any experience with artists with babies or young children? Yes, actually, Megan Sky, who just released her album, has twins, and she's in her 40s, which she's now talking about, because otherwise she wouldn't want me to say that. Do you have any experience with artists with young babies? What's the question exactly? In terms of time management, maybe? Yeah. When you have young babies and young children, it's much harder, I will say. I noticed that my artists who have young babies and children, if they don't have help at home, they kind of disappear for a couple of years because they're consumed with it, but you would make every little opportunity when that baby is sleeping, work on your music. Every little opportunity, that's where you grab the opportunities when you can. And you're building, so it takes a couple of years to write and record an album. So if you're in that phase, then do that. If you're in the phase of promotion, then you can steal that time for that. Yeah, always be looking for where your windows are, and then maybe organize ahead of time what you're going to do. Like if you have somebody to help you, maybe there's one day a week that your mother or your father or somebody can watch the kid, or a nanny, or some you have some help, or friend can just be with you, kind of taking care of the kid while you're doing some organizing, stuff like that. Just starting to carve out that time for yourself, right? It's important. I know moms have a lot of guilt, but you need to go on with your own life as well, right? It's very important. Kat Martin, you talked about covers and no need for licensing if we aren't making money. So does it mean not putting covers on Spotify? If you put covers on Spotify, you have to license them, right? So if you're making money from the cover, albeit YouTube or Spotify, on a professional, platform, then you need to make sure that cover is licensed. Yeah. But when you're giving it away on your website, you're not making money from it, so you don't need to license it. How would you recommend someone maintaining privacy while building on socials? Well, if you want something private, then have a private social media account, but don't build on the private social media account. Hurricane, hi Hurricane. She's in our artist sanctuary. Do you have any recommendations for promotional or advertising agencies to hire for an album release? Yeah, actually, Hurricane, go into our music business, music industry section in Artist Sanctuary, and you will see my referral list. So you guys may not have seen that, but inside membership, I have a full G sheet with many tabs that have all my referrals for entertainment attorneys, for marketing companies, for photographers, videographers, for all of that. And I'm building that out as we go through membership, so it's more international. Right now, it's United States mostly. Anika, are you allowed to give away songs if you distribute via the Orchard or another distributor that takes a percentage? Yeah. Yeah, you're the sole owner of that song. And even if you weren't the sole owner, you're giving it away. Again, you're not making a profit. So if you're not making a profit, you don't have to worry about, giving it away. Do you recommend a particular email distributor like MailChimp? Yes, I recommend MailChimp. MailChimp is one of the most robust that is out there. So any other questions? I'm happy to answer them. It's so wonderful to be with you guys. You know, you can do this. This is possible. I see it happening. And don't get discouraged when things don't work quickly, but building a business and putting a plan in place, really takes a couple of years. But even in the next 6 months, depending on where you are, some of you are positioned to be doing this in 2 or 3 months from now. You just have to, get everything organized, right? And yes, but the important thing is, what kind of content would you do for email and how often? That's a good question. So most people do an email nurture series. So the first email they would get is the email that comes with your free music download, right? And set it up in Dropbox and just have the music in there and the PDF of the liner notes of the lyrics, but make it nice, and if you don't have that, don't wait to do it. You can build as you're going. You don't have to have everything perfect right before you do it. Just get in motion, right? You can add the liner notes as you have that, right? But that's the first email they get. So then maybe a week later, they get another email in talking a little bit more about your music, like build out a nurture series, Google it, musician nurture series, find out more about it, and invite them to your live that you're going to have on YouTube or on Instagram. Let me put that link there for you. There we go. And the Artist Sanctuary. Joel, you want to put that in the chat for us? Yeah, please join. Please come and join us. This is an extraordinary community of artists at all levels and at all ages. So it's a very robust community, very, very supportive community. And we help you get in motion. How to, what do you recommend? Let's see, what kind of content do you, okay, so for email, one of the artists in our sanctuary, Natasha Hardy, does a really good job at it. I'm helping her tailor it right now, but inviting them to the live, but always offering, a little story about maybe the writing of a song or a song you want to point them to, and then inviting them to your live or inviting them to your live stream, right? And you would do maybe 6 for someone new on a list, maybe once a week, something like that, and then your monthly newsletter, right? Or maybe you do 6 emails over 2 weeks and then your monthly newsletter, and then occasionally send an email out to your list that's just like, I don't know, something special from you. What are your thoughts about busking? Busking is great. Yeah, busking is a great way to bring in an income, and it's a hustle, but a lot of people really love it. So busking is a good opportunity. Busking is good. It would be part of the regional plan. So regional would be a monthly, if you're busking, I would do a monthly residency, like, Rockwood Music Hall every Thursday night at 8 p.m. A third Thursday of the month at 8 p.m. and then you busk. And then at your busk, you can have a little note inviting them to that. You're always thinking about what's the next call to action? What's the next call to action to bring them to? Well, beautiful. We are actually on time. You're welcome, Easy. Yeah, you're welcome. The thing that's really important to understand is this is doable. Like I said earlier, to be famous, this is an intangible. I mean, we don't know, right? But today, to be able to build a brand moving towards a list of 20,000, 1,000 true fans is doable, right? And then learning how to sell and get comfortable and building a product line, a merch product line like Janelle has. I'm actually building a product line with Sam Shaky right now that is candles. We're starting with candles but I make it fit the artist. So every time I meet with Sam, he has a candle lit, and he's from Finland. So I'm like, we need a candle in the tote bag. And then he's like, oh, and we have this scent of candles that are, because initially we talked about jewelry and a hat, and because he wears hats all the time. And he's like, oh yeah, this hat company in California. I go, no, Sam, local hat company. Everything should be from Finland. So it brings that novelty to it, you know. VIP. Joelle can help you with that. Oh, beautiful cat. I'm so excited you're joining us. Yes. Yes. Good. Yes. Come at the VIP. Join at the monthly, and then you can upgrade to VIP even, Heather. Just get yourself in. Yes. So for Sam, we're making these candles. Oh, and he said, right. So I said, no, everything should be from Finland. Then he goes, oh, we have this scent in Finland that's really unusual for candles. And I go, oh, perfect, right? I'm like, I want one of those. And then we're building a hat line, because when you go to Sam Shaky's Instagram, you see these gorgeous hats. And so along with his music, because you need to support yourself, and it can be done in a really beautiful way and in a way that fans love, because people buy stuff. Why shouldn't they buy from you? And it's not, okay, I hear everybody's thoughts right now. I'm not in the business of selling products. I'm a musician. Yes, you are, because musicians make money from touring and merch. That's how you make money. But you need to, just like Janelle, get good at having merch that people really want, that aligns with your brand. And if you want to work on that, I'm great at that piece. I'm great at the strategy piece and taking the artist from where you are to where you want to be. So get your butt in the sanctuary. You will get my eyes and ears on your brand and on your music. And it doesn't matter what level you're at. We have artists at all levels. So the artists who are just starting out are really getting help from the artists that are more experienced. The artists that are more experienced are really getting help from me. And yeah, it's an incredible journey, and you realize that there's no competition, especially when we're in a world of 8 billion people, right? To really find those 1,000 core true fans, and to start with 100 people, 100 core fans, which is really 2,000 to 2,500, and then learning how to have those call to action, learning to have the consistency with the monthly newsletter and all these things. So you're going to get that kind of support in the sanctuary, and we do this together, and we support each other. We give you a hand and pull you up and help you get on the road to really living the dream and building a successful and sustainable career. So thank you so much for joining me. I am going to pass the baton to lovely Joelle, who will stay on for another 10 or 15 minutes, helping you guys get registered. And the one thing I would say is don't wait. Don't wait. If this is speaking to you, it's $49. Just try it for a month. You will be blown away. And some of the people are already here in this community. So don't let your mind stop you. Your mind is going to try to keep you safe and stop you and say, oh, I've signed up for these things before and it's not that great. No, it is great. And you need to be in it. And if you are here and you're still here listening to me, everybody here should register for this and be inside this sanctuary. It is a sanctuary, and it is a place where we nurture you and we help you. Okay. So Athena, stop. Thank you, Dory. No negativity, guys. We're very, very positive community here. We're very, very focused on the present moment. Doesn't matter what happened in the past, the present moment, and what's coming for you is so beautiful. And I want you to experience, and I'm really here to help you do it. And I've done it with thousands of people. Let me do it with you. Let me help you. Okay, so I'm going to bring Joelle on, and she'll answer any questions about the sanctuary. And then I hope to see you inside. We have a coaching call next week. Let's do it. Thank you, Joelle.
Hi, everyone. As Cari mentioned, I'm going to stay on about 10 to 15 minutes. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Thank you so much.
I think Kat wanted help, right, with her. She was trying to register.
actually took a look, and if you're wanting to sign up with the VIP seat, it's actually a different coupon. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat for everybody.
Beautiful.
And if you have any questions, feel free to add them in there. I'm happy to answer anything. Okay, so Danny's asking, what is an example of the mastermind session topics? So if you, let me go ahead and see if I can grab the curriculum that we have on the page. So we release the schedule for the sanctuary about every quarter. Cari usually releases for the next few months. But if you go to the page and if you take a look at what's included, you'll see that we have a list of topics that we basically every month we do a different theme, and those topics are always going to be focused on things like artist development, mindset, vocal arranging, marketing, songwriting, recording, obviously going into career growth and branding and teaching on the music industry. So that's kind of just some of the main topics that in a nutshell. But like I said, each month we kind of hone in on like a specific theme. Cari gives you an assignment. We're really working on things together in the sanctuary and everyone's supporting each other. Do you guys walk artists through legal needs for releasing music, like starting a label, registering songs? That might be a question more for Cari. I can check on that for you, but I know, in our mastermind sessions and in our coaching calls, you can bring any questions that you have to Cari. We also have that resource list, like she said, and she has a full list of music attorneys there, some really good references that she could point you to for help with that. Let me go ahead and see if I can grab that curriculum PDF for you guys if you want to take a look at it. Yes, and I see what Cari's saying here, don't wait. I'll also add to that, being a part of this community and seeing, being a part of some of the sessions, I can say that definitely in the last few months since we've been running this, I know that the artists who've joined are really feeling a lot of value from it. There's really something amazing by, everyone kind of just pushing each other. That's really quite amazing. If anyone has any other questions, go ahead and feel free to add them there. I'll stay on for another 5 minutes or so. I also want to point out too, for the membership, there's no commitment. So if you want to try it out, we're only running this promotion for a few days. So if you want to get in now, you get that lock in that $49 price. And You can join us for a month, see if it's right for you. Give it a try, and if it's not, if you want to just try it out for a month and then you decide, you want to come back later, or if it's, not, you feel like it's not the right fit for you, then you don't have to commit to the year. Okay, so Kat is asking that she had another account that you had already purchased some products. So it's actually going to be the same account. So when you sign up, just make sure that you register with the same email, and then it'll just automatically open up that section. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to share in here, there's a sample, sorry for the long link. That's our curriculum since we started in April. And as I said, the dates are released each quarter, but this will just give you an example of kind of how we structure the sessions. They're usually on Thursdays. Sometimes they're on Wednesdays, usually midday Eastern time. And of course, if you've been in any of our programs, we always have the replay. With the Artist Sanctuary, all of the sessions are going to be posted within 24 hours. You get the replay. And as long as you stay in membership, you actually have access to all of our previous sessions too, which is pretty amazing. So if you signed up right now, you're going to get all of our sessions from May, all of our sessions from April. I'm just going to add that link back in the chat just in case anyone didn't get it. And just to reiterate, you can use that code ASM special at the bottom here. Go ahead and use that for your discount. And then if you're wanting to sign up for a VIP seat, you can use this coupon here. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I see Danny. Would it be possible to start this program after I'm done with the Vocal Freedom Circle at the discounted rate? Well, we're only running the discount right now through the 13th. After that, I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll have discounts again in the future. So if you're wanting to wait, you could always do that. Otherwise, you could definitely do the Artist Sanctuary while you're in the Vocal Freedom Circle. And even if you can't come to the sessions live, you always have the replays and you can watch them later on. It's really amazing. You can immediately connect with our community on the sanctuary, and I think you would we would love to have you with us. And I just want to say, we would just to all of you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending this time with us. If you have any questions later, go ahead and reach out to info@Cari. We're always happy to answer any questions that you have. We would absolutely love to have you join us. This is a really special community, and we're having a great time in the Artist Sanctuary. If there aren't any other final questions, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Stand for one more minute here. Hey, Dory. Okay. So Dory asked, I would love to have a workshop strategizing how to monetize your music career. I'm interested in going more in depth with this. And as Cari pointed out, this is actually something that we really go deep into inside of the Arrow Sanctuary. So that's something you're wanting to get more support with. Anything that Cari covered today in today's workshop. I highly encourage you to get in the sanctuary. We're going to be able to workshop these pieces for you, right? Like you get all this information today, but then we'll come and workshop it and get you there inside the sanctuary. All right, well, if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. So thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, if you have any questions, reach out to info@Cari Cole, and we'll see you next time. All right, enjoy the rest of your day.